Booty boop, booty boop, booty 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 boop, booty boop, booty 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 boop, booty boop, booty 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 boop, booty boop, boom. Marvel movies are good. At least these ones. Hi, welcome to the
Hi, my name is Noah.
My name is Jordan.
I've been an alcoholic for 37 years.
Wait,
wait, wrong.
That's the wrong video.
That's the wrong video.
Wrong
and
one.
This is the top 5, the last and final definitive, end of the line, top 5 best of the best Marvel movies, and you can't argue with this. It's completely objective, I promise. Top 5 best Marvel movies of all time. That's the whole title.
Yeah.
Of this list.
And we
worked out the wording beforehand.
Yeah. We're gonna try to prove it and
try to prove it.
Oh, it's already proven.
We're gonna prove it, and we're gonna give you one definitive list. It's gonna be one list, only one list, and it's gonna be the best of the best.
Very
so here
true.
we go. Welcome to the top 5 movies, MCU movies of all time, brought to you by We Hate Things Productions. Jordan.
Yes.
Jordan, what is your number 5 Marvel movie of all time?
My number 5 Marvel movie of all time, after doing my my only Marvel marathon I've ever done that is legitimate and correct, is, I don't even have it pulled up.
Neither do I. I'm pulling mine up right now. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to go.
Okay.
Wait, this isn't.
Number 5.
Something's wrong here.
Okay, hold on. Yeah, okay. My number 5 Marvel movie of all time in the Infinity Saga is Spider-Man Homecoming. Now, ever since I was a kid, Spider-Man has been my favorite villain. Spider-Man has been my favorite hero. And I watched the TV shows. I read his comics the most, and had stuffed animals and everything.
Dude, it didn't save. I hit save last time, and it didn't save my I didn't save my far. It has Far From Home at the bottom for some reason. Everything's coming apart. This episode is ruined.
It's actually going good until you interrupted me. So
save this time, please. Okay, go ahead. Now, Jordan, what was your top 5? I'm kidding. Keep going.
Okay, I'm just adding it to the thing. Okay. Yeah, Spider-Man Homecoming. Tom Holland is my favorite Peter Parker that's ever been on screen out of the 3. And I think it's a good introduction to the character. It's a good showing of yourself. And I don't think the other Spider-Man movies do that well. The fact that Peter Parker tries to make it a Spider-Man movie, but the world around him is telling him, hey, this is a Peter Parker movie. And you have to accept that. And he learns that being Peter Parker isn't that bad, and he needs to lay low because that's just his role in the universe right now. And very good villain too. One of the best villains, I think, because they did a very good job of, even though they've gone to Loki levels, this is a very good Spider-Man level villain. And that's my number 5, Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yeah, this is definitely messed up, my list.
Noah, what's your number 5 movie?
My number 5 Marvel movie of all time is Captain America: Civil War.
Dang. Okay. Why?
I love this movie. And not only for the fight scenes, but it's some of the best fight scenes in any of the MCU. I love hand-to-hand combat. I'm a hand-to-hand combat kind of guy. I think it's cool. So all of the fight scenes in this were great. And it was just really fun to get to see half of the Avengers fighting the other half. It was great. And it had a good story. The villain was pretty good, and I'm excited to see him more in Captain Falcon. I guess I shouldn't say that anymore. Because he's dead. He dies in the first
Dang.
episode.
I didn't know that.
Have you watched it yet?
Nope, not yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
He dies in the first episode. Sorry, spoilers. They
Yeah,
both
so
do.
now-
The
and
Captain
now it's not
Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So now it's just a blank screen. I lost you.
Anyway,
Captain America Civil War. It has a great story. It has good character developments from every side. And you get a fun little "you killed my mom" scene, because those are always fun.
oh yeah, I think Captain America has the best emotional scene out of the three Caps, just of like Iron Man and Captain America just fighting, just out of sheer emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I love this movie, and it introduces Spider-Man, which is great in a
That's true.
great way.
I still remember the first trailer that Spider-Man was in. Everyone just like lost it.
Yeah.
Under ruse.
Under ruse. Yeah, that was
Under
fun.
ruse.
Hey guys. Hey everybody.
Hey everyone.
So yeah, that's Civil War. I love Civil War. It's a great movie. Yeah. Jordan, what's your number 4 Marvel movie of all time?
My number 4 Marvel movie of the entire Infinity Saga of all time is Iron Man 1. Now, Iron Man 1, I thought before we did this marathon was number 1, because
Really,
it's just a really fun movie. Tony Stark is like my favorite MCU character because of his development in every single way possible, from start to finish. And even in this movie, he develops for a good reason. And throughout the movie, you're just on his side no matter what. And that's not true. But I think that the year that this movie came out, it was like unbelievably good. The only thing about this movie is the final fight scene, but that's not even the most important part. It's more his build-up, the way he built the suit, and the start of the entire MCU. Really, really good.
Yeah.
And of course,
it is an amazing start.
Soundtrack.
And it's a great soundtrack.
Yeah, just the black and black. Anyway,
Black.
that's my number 4.
That's a good number 4. My number 4, MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe movie of all time, is Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Wow. Okay.
I love this movie.
Why?
It's just such a fun movie, and it has great character development, and it has great just Spider-Man-ness about it. It's a more Spider-Man movie than the first one, which is not why I like it. I like Peter Parker as well, so it's not just that it's a Spider-Man movie. But then Mysterio is a great villain. Not that Vulture wasn't. I loved Vulture. But Mysterio is just something else about him, and that he tricked Peter and everything, and that scene, the tricking him scene, the big one, super fun, super awesome. Using the guilt of Tony Stark against them and all that. Super, super rough, but he developed from it and everything. And then MJ and Peter is cute too, so that was fun. And then it's normal, teenage comedy again.
Yep.
And they nail the like awkward teenageness of it again. So it's really fun. And then finally, that final Peter Tingle scene where he closes his eyes and it is completely silent and he just fights through the hallway. I love that. It's so sick. So I think this one does beat Homecoming for me by 2. In between this and Homecoming is Civil War, I think. Unless I changed it that's why I was trying to watch it real quick to see what my number 6 was, to see if it changed from when I read it the other day, because
Got it.
my list changed for some reason. But right now it goes Homecoming, Civil War, Far From Home at 6,
That
5,
is
and
very
4.
interesting because mine is 7, 6, 5. Far From Home, Thor Ragnarok, Spider-Man Homecoming.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
Civil War is 12 on my list.
I know. You're just wrong.
I mean, I love the movie. It's just number 12.
Yeah. So I mean, that's the same thing with me and Doctor Strange. I love Doctor Strange, and it's number 11.
Yeah. Anyway.
What is your number 3?
My number 3 is Avengers Infinity War. Do I need to say more?
I don't think so. We did a whole movie on it. I mean, a whole episode on it, so.
Yeah. This movie alone, just the character interactions, the fact that Thanos was the protagonist, and the statement of power at the beginning, killing Loki, to actually divvying up everyone's shot frame, or like just the time on camera, where you feel like you see everybody important enough that's important, and it's just a very smart movie, and I enjoy it the most after coming back to it just because of how good it is. And the fact that they lose just makes it different from any other movie.
Yeah.
And it's why it'll be like one of the most iconic movies ever in history. Mm-hmm. That's my full explanation.
Yeah.
All right. What is your number 3?
My number 3 is also Avengers Infinity War. You pretty much summed it up. For being the culmination of 10 previous years of movies, it nailed it. And that's really, I think, the most important thing to me when it comes to talking about that movie. It nailed bringing all of those universes together, and all of that build-up, that almost seemingly impossible to meet levels of expectation from fans, and then it met those expectations and exceeded them. So I really just gotta give it respect for that. And then you said pretty much everything else, so. Jordan.
Yes.
What is your number 2 MCU movie of all time?
My number 2, and I think it's pretty obvious, Endgame. Now, my only problem with my list, at least better word, my only conflict with my list is where to put Infinity War and Endgame in succession from each other.
In relation to each other, yeah.
In relation to each other, because they're both great movies, and it's basically a part 1, part 2. If you think about it,
because not even basically, it is a part 1 and part 2.
It is a part 1 and part 2.
They're the same
continuation
story,
of the same story. Yeah, continuation of the same story. I put it above Infinity War just because it had a more lasting emotion and reaction to it. It is the final battle. It is the final war for the saga, and it ended perfectly, in my opinion. I don't think it could have ended more perfectly, at least for Iron Man and Captain America.
Yeah.
Which is the most important. No one cares about anyone that didn't. Yeah, actually, and Black Widow. I think Black Widow was great too. Anyway, the point is, it made sense, and I'm glad they just did their whole thing of time travel in their own way, and it actually made sense enough to enjoy the movie. Super fun. I love their darkness of they actually. Half the movie is them getting out of depression and actually having hope again, and then once that hope hits the middle of the movie, it goes up with the time travel. They get all the stones, and then it goes straight down when Thanos comes back, and then goes straight up, straight down when he has the gauntlet, and it goes all the way back up when you see Iron Man with the stones, and then by that point, the best part of the movie, I am Iron Man. And
quite possibly the best part of the MCU.
Yes.
And the best line of the entirety of the MCU.
And my favorite ending of any movie ever, Oh, not any Marvel movie ever. Cap is back with this girl.
Ending on Cap, yeah.
It's been a long time. Anyway, that's not my number 2. Endgame. How about yours, Noah? I wonder what yours is.
My number 2, Stan Lee's Marvel's Cinematic Universe
Stan Lee's Marvels.
movie. Number 2 of that category of movie of all time is Marvel's Avengers Endgames. Yeah.
That's it.
That's pretty much it. When I first saw both of these movies, I wasn't sure which one is my favorite. But I think I can definitively say I like Endgame more. They're both fantastic, which is why they're at number 3 and 2 on my list. But I think I do just enjoy watching Endgame more. And maybe that's just because it is the actual end of the story. End of that story, because the first one was basically... it is part 1 and part 2, so maybe it's just because Endgame wraps it up. But I do enjoy Endgame more.
Yeah.
And it just has so many scenes that what am I that
memorable
that pay homage to the old stuff, and
it's true.
Just
it ties a lot of
there's so much payoff for so many things throughout many different MCU movies. And
Iron Man, sorry.
It has some of the most memorable MCU scenes of all time. Like, nobody's ever going to forget, Avengers Assemble. Nobody's ever going to forget I Am Iron Man. Nobody's ever going to forget Cap picking up Mjolnir. It has some of the, greatest and most just, exciting scenes of all 22 movies. Yeah, so I think I can definitively say I like it more than Infinity War. And also it just has... you got everybody back to normal, kind of. You have Cap back with the shield and everything. He's actually Cap again. Whereas some things were a little off in Infinity War, but it made sense. But still, it was nice having everybody back the way they were. Not with Hulk. Hulk's still messed up. And then it just does so much more too, beyond just having memorable scenes. But yeah,
I think your point of just it had the most payoff of anything ever.
Yeah,
just tops it off. Yeah,
it like I said with Infinity War, it built up all of this anticipation and excitement from fans, and it absolutely met expectations and exceeded expectations for something that was coming together for 11 years. So, I don't know. What else can really be said? Now, Jordan, what is your number 1 Marvel's, Stan Lee's, and Jack Kirby's Marvel's Cinematics Universes movies of all time?
List
of this top 5, number 1 only true, and
definitive,
top, it's only
objective.
5 definitive, 100% accurate,
objective.
We promise, objective, completely objective. Top 5 MCU Jack Stevens Cinematic Universe of all time. Number 1, go.
Kevin Feige, Stan Lee, Johnson 3 list is the one movie that exceeds any other movie that I enjoy the most, that is Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one. When this movie came out, or when they announced this movie to be the next Marvel movie after Avengers 2, there's already been 2 Avengers movies which had the same characters as what we always did, and introduced some new ones, but that's it. They announced Guardians of the Galaxy, and I remember going online at either 13 or 14 of people okay, really? They're gonna just go on a separate direction without having to do with the Avengers at all? That's gonna be stupid.
We had no idea.
And then the trailer came out,
and everybody was like,
and then
what?
Everyone's like, ooh,
yeah,
wait, this isn't a hero movie. Everyone's like the worst. To Hooked on a Feeling?
Hooked on a Feeling. Yeah.
Wait, what?
What a good
In space?
movie. That's why it's my number. I need to look at what I said in the last video, but it's either my number
And then-
6 or 7.
And then,
Yeah, go ahead.
even better, when you finally see the movie, that summer of 2014, the hype was even more.
Yeah.
That's how good it is.
Dude, seeing that in theaters was awesome.
Yeah. I still remember seeing it in theaters. And just the soundtrack is the best soundtrack of almost any movie I've ever seen. The incorporation of the soundtrack, at least.
Mm-hmm.
All the characters are likable. No character in Guardians 1 isn't likable. Every single one is.
Agreed.
It's stupid, wacky, hilarious. It has unexpected heart, a really good plot, the establishment of one of the most powerful Infinity Stones, and they explain it very well. They explain the other Infinity Stones well. They put 5 different people and they gathered them up in the most uncommon but like just very quirky way, and it works. And they all develop. It's the perfect movie.
It's a great movie. It really is.
It's perfect.
It
And
really
it's
is
also-
a fantastic
I also think it's the
movie.
most rewatchable Marvel movie, in my opinion.
That's fair. That is a fair
Yeah.
opinion.
The only other rewatchable movie, I'll let you know after you say yours.
Yeah, because mine really could be anything. Who knows?
Yeah, and no one
Who knows
knows.
what mine
No
is
one
going to be.
Honestly,
It could
yeah,
be-
anyone could guess, I guess. But like,
because
if they
there's
don't-
only one left. There's only one I haven't said yet.
That's true. But yeah, Guardians is definitely by far my favorite.
And that's entirely
Noah.
fair. It's a fantastic
Noah.
movie. Yes.
What
Jordan.
is your number one Marvel Cinematic Universe, Infinity, Stan Lee, Kevin Feige, Steven Seagal list?
Jack
Marvel
Kirby.
Objective, Infinity, Jack Kirby, 3, the Tokyo Drift list, number one movie?
Tokyo Drift list? Number 1 objective, completely true and 100% factual. Only five names in this top 5 list, and this is the number 1 of the top 5 list, and it's only 5. There's only one list, and this is the last one right here. This is the end of it. Number 1 is Mission Impossible 2. Let's give it up for
Too
him,
Fast,
everybody.
Too Furious. All right, goodbye,
Starring
guys.
Tom Cruise
And Chris Hemsworth.
and somebody else. My number one movie is Thor Ragnarok.
Man,
Yeah.
I'm upset that Thor Ragnarok didn't make it on my list. Honestly,
It's the best.
want to.
It's, well, for one, it redeems a seemingly unredeemable character. And I'm not talking about Loki, I'm talking about Thor. Because Thor sucked before this. So the fact that they did that, and well, is just, it says something. They made him likable, they made him hilarious. And Taika Waititi gets credit for all of this. The movie is hilarious, it has a fantastic soundtrack. A lot of my reasons for why I like Ragnarok are a lot of the same reasons for why you like Guardians. And we both love both of these movies, obviously. But a lot of my reasons for why it's my top are the reasons Guardians is your top. It's hilarious while also being heartfelt at the same time, and it develops Thor's character even further, and it has Odin dying and everything, and then
Loki becoming
a good guy, which is fantastic, which I had been waiting for years. And it just has awesome fight scenes, just the coolest fight scenes. So rad. The entirety of the "What were you the god of again?" scene,
Immigrant Song.
fight, yeah, that fight scene after that. I wasn't just gonna say Immigrant Song, because Immigrant Song shows up a few times in that movie. But then when Immigrant Song comes in that scene, and he's just flying down with no hammer, no weapon of any kind, and it's just him surrounded in lightning and just starts beating dudes. One of my favorite fight scenes of the entirety of the MCU. And the fact that Immigrant Song is also playing in the background of that is just amazing. And they use the music well in this movie, because Immigrant Song comes in a few times in the movie, but it doesn't feel like it. It doesn't feel like, oh, they're using the song again. It's like, oh yeah, here we go.
It has a purpose.
Here we go again. Let's do this. So, I love this movie. I really do. And Jeff Goldblum, come on, speaks for himself. So yeah, it's funny. It has a great soundtrack. It's heartfelt. It's action-packed, and the action is great. It is everything a Marvel movie wants to be, in my opinion.
I have two things to say about both of our top movies.
Yes.
One is, both these movies do not take itself seriously, and that's why they're good.
No. Yeah.
Marvel movies, when they took themselves seriously, that's why all those movies are in the bottom of our lists.
That's the Age of Ultron, everything around there.
Both of the first Thors.
Both of the first Thors. They just took themselves way too seriously.
So that, like, Thor 3 had, like, the most improv, I think, in the direction that it went to.
Yeah.
And Guardians just had the improv style of, like, let's just make it as raw as possible. The second thing I want to say about our top list is it's the most digestible if you're not a superhero person.
Yeah.
People that I know, and people that I see that just do not like superhero movies for good reasons, honestly, love Thor 3. My mom liked Thor 3, and she hates superhero movies. And Guardians of the Galaxy, people say, oh, I love Guardians of the Galaxy. It's so fun. That's why these movies are really good. It's the most digestible and the most just widely targeted to everybody. They're really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, I documented the list if you want to put it up on screen.
Okay. Hold on. Now let's get some good intro music playing. And we're going to look at our top 5 MCU movie list. Top 5 definitive 100% end of the line last one of all time. Period. For sure. It's objective, I promise.
True.
I turned it down a little bit. I had to. It was a little loud. Alright. That's it. There it is. That's the top. It's still loud. It's still really loud.
Ow, my ear.
It's so loud. There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the top. This is the last and completely true and objective, 100% real, objective. That's it. That's your top 5 Marvel movies right there. That's the one and only list you need for the top 5 and only 5 Marvel movies.
Yep.
Boom, boom.
And I had to look up how to spell every movie, but I think I got it. That's it. Thank you for tuning in, guys. I was excited for this one.
That is, and again, let me reiterate, in case you forgot what this list is. This single one list is the top 5, objectively the top 5 best Marvel movies of all time. Top 5, objective best, number 1, best of the best, top 5, and only 5. One list to finish it out. That's the only list you'll ever need. Thank you, and good night.